There it is.
Hey, look at that.
Isn't that cool?
That's nice. I like that.
Isn't
It's
that
like we're
great?
in somebody's basement or something. This is great.
We're just a bunch of nerds in our
That's
basement.
right. Big Eo Peeps, B33T33, and Yeti0312 say hi, and afternoon, everyone.
Have to have a happy ever. Troy
That's right.
Biz too.
Yep.
We're, this is, I don't know if you know this, but this is the first stream so far.
Oh, really? This is awesome.
Of ReaperCon.
Well, thank you very much,
I know.
man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Luckily, because, I was looking at the schedule and I was like, I kind of want to do something on Thursday. But looking at the previous years, we know how technical stuff happens, and there's a bunch of stuff happening here at ReaperCon. It's kind of crazy at a convention. So I'm glad we took Thursday to kind of
settle in.
It's testing and chilling and making sure everything works.
Thanks for letting me be your test.
Yeah, I mean this is a good audio test, a good screen test.
This is great. This is nice.
Loud and clear, Smoth says.
Yeah.
So that's great. We're doing our job.
Thanks, Land Creative. That's right. Oh, and hello, Smoth7.
Smoth. Pretty much everybody in chat are people that couldn't be at ReaperCon.
Oh,
sadly.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But that's why we wanted to do streams, is so everybody could join in and be here.
Well, and that's one of the good things. There are not very many, but one of the good things that came out of that whole COVID, when the curtain came down, was we were able to develop this kind of technology and have conventions, and now people from around the world can attend in some form or fashion this great show that is the one and only
ReaperCon 2024.
Yes.
Hello from Europe.
See, this is awesome.
I don't know if you saw, but by registration, I put a big old world map up.
Oh, I did see it, and it was fantastic.
And then people could pin where they're from.
ReaperCon is this is my job, John. I do this 24/7. I get paid full time to travel around North America and go to conventions like this. And there's very few that are unique in it. They have found a niche. Adepticon is one, and ReaperCon is the other. And I look forward and count the days on my calendar when those two events come up. I can't wait to do Adepticon, and I really can't wait to do Reaper. Because Reaper is, all the other conventions, they have people, they have guests, but there's artists and there's people who come here just to paint, and the stuff that comes out in the painting competition and the event on Saturday night, and the vibe that is at Reaper is just unlike any other convention I've ever been at. And it is just, I love coming here. Can't miss it.
The word I always use is family reunion.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like.
Yeah, it's a family convention. Not that families can't come,
Yeah.
but we are all family.
Yeah, especially everybody, a lot of people come back year after year after year, so you start to see them and they become your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a great time.
Hello, Carrie Michael Cosby.
Yes. Unfortunately, Carrie Michael Cosby, she was supposed to be teaching at ReaperCon this year.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But as we know, this part of the year in the U.S., a lot of kids are going back to school.
Yes, they are.
So a lot of people are getting sick.
Yep,
I think her husband got sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, at least she's here in spirit.
Yeah, she decided to stay home and stay safe and keep everybody away.
Nice.
From
Well, thank you, Carrie, and we'll miss you.
Yeah. Well, she'll be back next year.
Good.
But that's not why we're here.
No, we're here to talk about miniatures.
We're here to talk about Warlord.
Yeah, Warlord Games. We've been around for, hey, thank you, Painter Gift.
Painterly, Canadian.
Yeah, there we go. Warlord Games has been around for about 17 years. In fact, we just had our open day will be in 2 weeks over in England, so I'll be there for that. We are a historical gaming company. We do anything from Egyptians to outer space. And Rebellion 2000 AD, we've done Doctor Who. We have certain areas like we have a game for doing ancients called Hail Caesar. We have Pike and Shot for that English Civil War, and then we have black powder that covers from about 1700 to 1950. No, 1900, and then bolt action goes up into the 1950s. So we try to do
different eras.
Yeah, different eras. The game systems are pretty close. The game engines are pretty close to the same. Somewhere in that first or second paragraph of almost all of our games, it says, "Thanks for buying our games. And now go do whatever you want." Because we all know that nobody wants to sit around for 7-8 hours and do 3 turns and did you win or I win? I don't know. We want to be fast, fun, and furious and be done in about 4 hours. We're historically themed, not historically based in the fact that a bolt action rifle is a bolt action rifle. Whether it's whatever nationality, it's a bolt action rifle. I know that a KR-98 is different than an M1 carbine, and I understand. But
you don't want to get in the weeds.
Thank you, Smoth. I appreciate that very much. We try that. Thank you.
Yeah, Smoth is one of those scale
guys.
Scale wizards.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, Yeti 0312, the Hydra or Warlord Minis is a Reaper Mini.
Oh, yeah.
Not us.
Oh.
So we don't.
Children of the Hydra?
Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Yeti 0312 is correct. The Children of the Hydra set was a set we did that was based on the old Harryhausen skeletons.
Oh,
and
okay.
that was a system for our Warlords of Erewhon. Erewhon, of course, the inside joke is nowhere spelled backwards because it's not based in any place. And Rick Priestley wrote those rules so that he could play with his gnolls against some Romans.
Yeah.
So there's a mix
Mix it with the fantasy and the...
So you're right, Yeti. Thank you for correcting and making me correct myself. But we like to do historical stuff. We've been around for, like I said, 17 and a half years.
Where's Warlord based out of?
Out of the Lead Belt, Nottingham, England, of course, like
Nottingham.
everybody else. Yeah, so.
Right next to us, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and people bring in stuff from your place over there into our headquarters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you'll see bags of Reaper come in all the time. It's great.
Yeah, because that's where our UK warehouse is.
Yep, and then that's where Mantic is, and that's where
Warhammer,
of course. Yeah, the other guys have a GW instead of WG. You know,
Yeah.
the right way. And then we have there's Mantic, and there's Foundry, and there's Lucid Eye, and there's North Star.
That seems to be a big hub.
Yeah,
Why do you think? Is it
There's
just 'cause
something
it's
in the
a
there's something in
location?
the water. Yeah, and it's one of those sparks that happened in in the late 70s, early 80s. They all kind of gelled. You know, the guys all kind of got into there, started doing their stores. Historicals kind of came up. That's when D&D was big and popular. So a lot like the Dragon and White Dwarf and the other started trying to do all kinds of things. Then they kind of focused on role playing, but then some historicals popped up, and
And then GW did their thing.
Yep, and then that kind of set the standard for a lot of things. And a lot of the people that work at Warlord, I'd say 80% of us used to be in some form or fashion a GW employee.
Oh, okay.
So we used to do things like that. Our CEO, John Stollard, used to be the American CEO for Games Workshop.
Oh, okay.
And he got made redundant, and Paul Sawyer, who was head of our studio, was made redundant at the same time. And they were at John's house at his kitchen table, and they said, well, what do you want to do with our redundant money? And it became that scene out of Jungle Book. I don't know. What do you want to do? You know. So they said, I always wanted to do Romans. So they pooled in their money, and we came out with our first box of Romans. And fun history fact: the first box was sold at Brookhurst Hobbies in California.
Oh, wow.
That was the first sale we had for Warlord Games.
Wow.
And now we've expanded. We've got Andy Chambers working for us. We've got Gav Thorpe, Rick Priestley, Alessio Cavatore. All these names from GW. They're all freelancers now, and we just like to have the best historical looking miniatures out there. And we do traditional spin cast.
I was
metal.
about to ask you all your different casting.
We do resin, and now we do also plastic infusion. And now we do have, I think we have 5 or 6 Siocast machines.
Yeah.
And we have a Warlord Resin Plus that we do some of our stuff. What's great about the Siocast is it looks like and performs and paints just like metal.
Yeah, exactly. Because the mold making is
mold making is
90% the same.
Yeah, and then what's great is a normal traditional resin, if it bubbles or cracks or whatever,
it's useless.
Landfill, or use it for terrain.
You can reuse the Siores.
Oh yeah, there's a grinder right next to the machine, and you throw it in there, and it's reusable. So
exactly.
We love it. It's great. It's lighter, so the shipping costs are less.
Yeah.
It's just it's the Alchemist Gold, as John Stollard.
It's good. Yeah. It allows you to control all your stock here in the U.S. And all that stuff. Because I make the molds for Reaper for Siocast. I make all the Siocast molds.
So you know exactly what we're talking about.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's great stuff. We love it.
I like it. And if you prime a metal model gray and you prime a Siocast gray and you put them next to each other, you're like,
can't tell the difference.
Can't tell unless you hold them.
No, we had one of our viewers watched. Thanks, Smoth. We appreciate that. Hey, Roger. And thanks. Orcs are gorgeous, and a great thanks. And I gotta make sure Yeti. I gotta keep up that.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone. Yeah. We had a guy do a demonstration of our weapons packs. We're starting to sell like 6-guy weapon packs with 3 dice and all the stuff that we have for Bolt Action and Bolt Action 3. And he had laid them down on the table, and he couldn't remember which one was the metal one.
Oh.
Until you pick it up. And you could bend back the ATR, the anti-tank rifle, and it snapped back into place. Didn't break. drop them on the ground. They're just the answer to all of our problems, right?
Yep.
That we had in metal making.
It's been good for us.
Yes, and we're very excited. This year has been one of our best years to date. We've been nailing our sales records. We've been releasing some really big products. We came hard out of the gate in January with ABC Warriors, which is a Rebellion 2000 AD comic strip about big honking robots.
Yeah.
You know, and the fleshies or the humans.
The fleshies.
Yeah, kind of running around. Our floppies, I think that might be called. That's really fun, but that was the same game engine that we had for our Slain or Slanja and Judge Dredd and Strontium Dog. So all four of those were done by Gav Thorpe and Chambers. Roger Garish helped out on the Judge Dredd. And then we did Block War and all that kind of fun games. Pauly Shore, yeah, okay, that's right. We do have good miniatures, but Reapers all over the place.
Yeah.
I would agree.
And so you know what else is all over the place? Our scale.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, we do from 6 mil to we do a 1/1800 for some of our ships, 1/200 for some of our airplanes. Most of our and we do this epic scale we cause, which I'll give that to you. You can put it in the camera right there. This is our new Romans. This is our new thing out of the box. One of the things that came out with today. This is our fourth venture into this 15-ish scale. We started out with American Civil War, and then we did Napoleonics, and then we did English Civil War. Now we're doing this Hail Season. This came out just last month. This is Ancients, and yeah, there you go. You can see the little guys there.
Yeah, he's gonna zoom in on it.
Those are Romans. Yeah, I brought you some nice small stuff, right?
Yeah, that's way tinier than what I'm used to.
Yeah, and then we have elephants in that scale too. So it's kind of that's kind of crazy.
They're in your booth?
Yeah, come on over.
Oh,
see.
I might go get some.
Yeah, and these are painted by Adrian Mansky, which is he's the guy that's the War Gamers US representative. He does the Hot and Dangerous and the Fire and Steel and the 1666 game.
Okay.
But he painted those up for us, and a big shout out to Adrian. And they're fantastic. And that scale always, you get massive armies on the table and it just looks right.
Do those do these, are they each individual and you glued them all together? Or are they like rows of 3? Or?
We learned by now on this one that we put a lot of detail in these models, and sometimes the people are overwhelmed at the amount of detail, and they're almost paralyzed. So what we've done on this one is actually there's a back piece that has 10 backs.
Oh.
And there's a center piece that just has 10 heads and 2 sides.
Oh.
And then there's a front that just has 10.
There's a gap in the middle.
And yeah, there's a gap in the middle. So when you snap them together, you've painted 30 heads, 10 backs, 10 fronts, and 2 sides.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's quick and fast.
That's clever.
And all the scabbards are hidden behind the shields. So it's another detail you have to worry about paint. And we make, if you want to say decals or decals, for these shields.
Shields, yeah.
So you don't have to paint the shield work.
You can put whatever decal you want on there.
Yeah, so that we've really come a long way with that, and that's our newest line of Epic, and that came out this year. We also have announced that our Bolt Action 3, our third edition, our bread and butter.
I was about to say, what is your most popular?
That is it. Most popular. It's
that's
the best
the name I hear the most.
Yeah, it's we sell. That's our best seller, and it's Osprey's bestseller as well, because all of our books are done through Osprey. So our campaign books, our rule books, our army books all go through Osprey as well. So it is 50-60% of our sales is all Bolt Action.
Oh wow.
And we're coming out with this edition. It's been out for 12 years. This version 2 has only been out for 8 years.
Okay.
And this is our first change.
Oh, so it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and a lot of people are looking for it. We're going to do a rule book, and we're only changing the Army books, which is about 7 or 8, whereas we have 30 campaign books that we're not going to touch. So those will still be fine for 3rd edition. So that'll come out next month, around September 20th.
I was about to ask.
And the new sprues are here. There's the first one. That's our German Fallschirmjäger. No, that's the Americans. That's the Americans, winter gear.
And what is this machine? This is injection?
Yeah, injection plastic, traditional injection plastic.
And y'all have the machines in your factory?
They're on an off-site.
Got it.
When we moved from the Royal Bike Factory to the Finch Close, all of our stuff became under one roof, with the exception of the press.
Got
with
it.
plastic press. Some of our books now are being printed over in Lithuania, but almost everything else is done on site.
Okay.
We have a traditional spin cast metal, about 8 machines there.
Yeah.
And we just got a brand new one. It's almost like an automated, you put the mold in, it spins, it comes back, and the other guy takes it out.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it
I'm,
too.
I'm a mold nerd. So.
Well, I'll send you some pictures of it when I see it next month. And then,
I
go
think
ahead.
we have a close-up. It'll be over here by the magnifying glass.
Okay.
So we'll see it. We'll get it in the frame.
Okay, so this is that's the German Fallschirmjäger. Let's see,
Oh, it's way up there.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
Over
new
the magnifying, yeah.
Oh, over, yeah, that's what he said, over the magnifying glass. That's the new Germans. Maybe that way.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Perfect.
And what's kind of cool is there's captured weapons on here. The father and son did a real good in-depth section by section on these. Guys have got cigars, captured weapons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's the Americans, with different weapons. I think there's 4 Panzerfaust on the German one, and these are the Americans in winter gear. I'm going to use these guys from my Korea. Myself and Steve Smith wrote the Korea book, so I'm kind of excited about these guys.
Okay. And they're all. I see they're all. The engineering on this is always interesting. I
Yes.
know we're getting a little weird on this, but
No.
The 4, they're in sections.
Yes,
right?
they are, and
'Cause
there's
you have
always
to balance
6.
these correctly.
Yeah, and there's always 6 guys because there's 30 guys in a box.
Yep.
There's always 6, so we can give you 30 guys in a box. Yes, is that Kuroniko 589?
Yeah.
Thanks. And Small 7, you betcha. There's all kind of kit bashing options. And these are what I call a one piece. The weapons are in the arms. When we first started,
Oh, like double.
well, and you can hold it. See, so you don't have to worry about putting the weapon in the hand.
Got it.
Remember
It's
that?
Just the shoulders.
Yeah. So and you can do different combinations. Only the Russians have a weapon sprue necessity, which will be probably fixed at the end of this year.
Okay.
So they'll be finally then you still can buy the weapon sprues from us from our web store, warlordgames.com, but now you can do like Smut 7 says there's all kinds of kit bashing. Jordan Weiss on the Bolt Action page did some incredible kit bashing stuff that it's just amazing. And constantly, that's what's great about ReaperCon, and that's what's great about this hobby in general, is every year when I travel around and go to these different conventions, the quality of kit bash and painting just blows me away, and you can't think you see anything more, and then something else comes out. And
It gets better and better.
And it's just amazing that humans can paint like this. It's just amazing. I'm almost ready to put up my paintbrush, but that's where my relaxation. Thank you, Yeti. I appreciate that. But that's my relaxation when I'm off the road, is to go paint when it doesn't get too hot in the garage.
That's what a lot of people, that's what I hear a lot of people. They use this painting hobby as a cool down.
Chill.
It's a chill thing. Yeah.
Well, and Warlord Games likes to do a lot of, I like to call it the rule of cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It wins every time.
Yeah. Well, and we also do things like John, he'll come up with this idea and he say, hey, look, we need a Napoleonic French band. They had one. Let's make it, I think it's 24 pieces. Let's make it. It doesn't have to do anything in the game, but we made it. We sell like about 50 kits a year, and it's the rule of cool. It looks really cool on the board. Never use it,
Yeah.
but it looks cool.
It looks cool.
We do some stuff for our Epic ACW line, a signal tower, some guys standing on top of a pile of logs, an ambulance.
Yeah.
You can make
It's
up
not very
rules.
common that people
Yeah.
use it, but
Yeah, but it's the rule of cool. It looks cool on the side, you know?
Yeah.
And there's so many people here that do the rule of cool, put a tattoo in some certain place, right?
yes.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. Yeah, exactly. And hopefully Daffy Weir.
Yeah. Good.
This is
We're
something
good at
this is something that's really important. A couple years ago, and I'll make a long story short as
Of
much
course.
as I can.
We have time.
I can't do all this by myself. So I have about 50, 60 plus people around the United States in Canada, North America, we call Raiders, Russell's Raiders. And what they are is they're handpicked guys that help us sell and promote Warlord around the United States. For example, I'm sitting here in Reaper. Some of my Raiders are in Nova.
Oh yeah, Nova.
I've got 4 guys here from Connecticut, Colorado, Nebraska, and Kansas. And they come here. We take care of their gas, food, and lodging, and they help me promote. So one of those guys, Brian Swanson from Republic in Missouri, came over with me in 2019 over to the UK for the Christmas party with my wife and I. And he's got some sons that play bolt action. And he made friends with Pete Healy, which is our Australian major metal classic spin caster. And his two sons had some miniatures that they wanted, command miniatures for their army. So Brian went with Pete down to the spin room, and he spun those models. So those kids have got an heirloom of their dad spinning a model at headquarters that they can keep. When you play Frogger or Whack-A-Mole, I'm not saying they're a bad game, but after 4 hours you turn it off and you have nothing. These models that we paint, and all these models that we paint, become an heirloom and they can be passed on. We're starting to see our generation, my generation, is starting to get a little older. Some of us are starting to go to the great painting space in the sky, you know. And we lost one of our good members up in, I'm from Oklahoma City. We have a big convention that I run called Twisted Lords Con. And one of the main guys that used to come there all the time, Tim Kellogg, passed away earlier. And his wife was trying to figure out what to do with his collection. And she wanted to not just throw it away or do it. It's very hard for our siblings or our spouses or significant others to figure out, because they want to honor that. But you know, you get a paintbrush from your friend, you can think I'm painting.
Yeah, they don't want to set it. They don't want to keep it in the garage or something for years.
And they want it to be able to use. You know, so you play with their miniatures, you're playing with them again. You're painting with their paints, you're painting with them again. So Judy was trying to figure out what to do, so she contacted us through Mike Selzner, another big guy in our unit. And what she decided to do, because it was keeping her up at night, so she decided, look, I'm going to gift his collection to the Twisted Lords Con, and when we have like a vault, we call it opening the vault. People can go in there, and it's got to go to a good home. I know what it's worth. You know what it's worth. Don't make a fool out of yourself. Don't try to underbid me. And no flipping. Okay, no Facebook Marketplace or eBay. And people come in there, and the proceeds of those sales go to the convention. So now we've got I call it a self-licking ice cream cone. So it's an internal engine now that helps make sure that our convention will keep going.
Okay.
So and now Tim is still living with us in
memory and at the con.
Hi Scott, thank you Carrie, thanks Floby. So I guess long story short, miniature games is always going to be here. Companies like Reaper and Warlord keep it going, and those things will become passed on to your kids and your grandkids.
Yeah, you don't know this, but Chet probably knows. Me and my fiance, we really like going to antique malls and shops. Yeah. And my recent thing in the past couple of years is I always ask when I go in, I go, do you guys have any pewter models somewhere?
Nice.
And they're like, probably in this case or that case. And then I'll go look, and I'm like, oh, is this a Raupartha? Or is this a Grenadier? And so I'm trying to see. I found a few here and there, and I'm trying to, it's a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
You don't see it very often. Down here in Texas, though, there are old, they used to make a lot of old pewter sculptures, like of cowboys riding horses and things like that. So you find a lot of that stuff.
Right.
But you don't find very many Grenadier and Warlord and stuff like that, because I think all those people are holding on to them.
Oh yeah.
Still.
And funny you should mention that. From Texas up to about Missouri up into Illinois, that's our American lead belt. That's where a lot of the historical guys are. There's some in the East Coast, there's some in the West Coast, but the solid core of historical gamers is in that swath of states. We're really excited about this Bolt Action 3 release. We've got a lot of.
Oh yeah.
It's the best thing we've done in a long time. It's huge. It's 320-page book, 3 pages of indexes. Yes, there's an index, people. There's an index. So we listened.
What's the date again?
21st or 22nd of September.
So next month.
Next month, and then we've also got a what if kind of series. It's called Conflict 47, where the war didn't end in 45.
Oh, okay.
So we have pew pew roar and Walker kind of thing. So we have
not historical.
Yeah, not historical.
Alternate historical.
Yeah. We've got animated corpses and werewolves and bears and these walkers and Japanese troops that can walk through walls. And we've got the IP now. Clockwork Goblin had it for a while, and then we bought the IP, so now we own that. And we've got some new writers. So Andy Chambers, Gav Thorpe, and Cam oh, I lost his last name just now, are some new writers. So that's going to probably come out next year. So we're excited about that. We always have a big release around Christmas time, so probably another 2000 AD, something will come out for that. We're talking maybe, Rogue Trooper. That'll be kind of something. There's a big movie coming out for that next year. So 2024 has been a humongous year for us.
Yeah.
And 2025 is even going to be better.
I think most people can say that after the COVID time and all that stuff. I mean, just to be candid, for Reaper, it was pretty good. Oh, like overall, like I wouldn't say COVID's good, but I mean, everybody was at home. They needed new hobbies. We got a lot of new painters into the community.
Oh yeah.
But everything's starting to stabilize now.
We had a store in Wyoming that stayed open during COVID because only like one guy would come into the store during the day, right?
Yeah.
And that guy sold out. A guy would come in. I need something to paint. Give me that army. Okay, give me that army. So it was just, it was just for that aspect. There's a lot of painting getting done.
So, it's good. It's good. So that sounds. I mean, third edition. It's always exciting when you release a third edition. People have been asking us forever. I think Smoth in chat has been asking about Warlord. Or Reaper's Warlord.
Yeah.
They want us to do a third edition. But we haven't supported Warlord in I don't remember how long.
Yeah.
It was before me.
They'll tell you.
My time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was before me. I've been here for 15 years, so that tells you anything.
Well, we're really excited about this. This is, and a lot of people were really worried. Oh no, if this is our bread and butter, we're not going to do some massive, silly changes. And of course, we can't please everybody. There's some people that won't like it, but I think a lot of people are going to like it. We're going to get some new players. It's a little faster, a little more streamlined. Alessio helped do the rewrite, and he likes to take away instead of add. So there's a lot of new things. Him and Rick Priestley did a lot of that. That's you see these themes in all of our our Black Powder or Hell Caesar. I mean, sometimes we say Hell Caesar or Black Powder is the War Master that he did for Games Workshop. Rick Priestley did now for historicals. But we like to think that we're the one of the top, or if not the top, historical company out there now, and we're just trying to do the best historical figures that we can.
I would say so.
And I think
just from what I hear and what I see.
Thank you.
Because I handle all of Reaper's social media, so I mean, it's pretty easy to see what's doing good and what's not, or what I see a lot of. And Bolt Action is the name that I see a lot of.
Well, thank you. Well, and we like coming down here to Warlord, and now I think this is our third year. We work with Trenchworks, and we have taken over the judging for your painting competition.
Yeah, you have a manufacturer award.
Yes, we do.
Historical.
Yes, we do. We have 6 awards. We have 4, the 4 normals.
Open, diorama, painters.
Ordnance and ordnance. Yeah, and those are silver. And then we have 2 that if the model is with a Warlord or Trenchworks model, and then a higher standard. So we have 4 silver and 2 gold. The silvers are getting 25 each. The golds are getting 50s. We call them the Max and Manny Awards.
Yeah. And those will be on Saturday night.
Yes, we do the judging on Saturday at 3. So I'm really excited about that, to present that. This year I have the trophies and I have the certificates here, so I'm prepared this year.
Are you doing the announcing?
Yes, and I'll do the announcing this year. So I'm really excited about that. I really enjoy Reaper. I really enjoy coming down here. It's just, like I said, it's a different convention than what a historical convention is. It is.
And it's not a wargaming. It's not really wargaming.
No, it's gaming. It's a lot of your typical D&D and your painting classic stuff. Yeah, but it's the Mac Daddy of painters. Like I said, Adepticon is the Mac Daddy of miniature gaming. Gen Con is it's
that's a different beast.
Well, I always like to say the best analogy is if we're going to go over to your house, John, and it's me and Kevin and Bob, and we're going to play D&D, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to bring over the pizzas. Kevin's bringing over this book he can't stop talking about, and Kevin's bringing over this movie that just came out, and then Larry's bringing over some dessert, right? So we get over to your house, we sit down on the table, we start cooking that pizza, we start talking about the book. He throws in the movie. We watch the movie, eat pizza, have dessert. We don't play a lick of D&D. That's Gen Con.
That's a great analogy.
Because you go one way and it's just it's
that's
just
funny.
Yeah, but Reaper is just it's so relaxed here. It's so much fun. It's a family like you said before.
Yeah, and you've been here. What do you know? How many years y'all have been coming here?
This is our
It's been a while.
fourth. This is our fourth year, our third year judging the historicals.
Okay.
And we'll be here as long as you're here.
And do you see an uptick every year? Of
Yeah.
More and more.
Yeah, I see an uptick of people. I see an uptick of vendors, and I see an uptick of quality. There's so many exciting things about Reaper. The quality of the painting, the quality of the kit bashing, and the new vendors. You know, and when we see vendors, like I love talking about Kana, and I love talking about
Kana.
Black Site. Okay?
Oh yeah, Black Site Studios.
You know, I ran into Black Site Studios at Texicon about 6 years ago. Those guys were in tank tops and t-shirts and cut-off jeans, and I think we got something here.
Yeah.
And now
they're all buttoned up.
oh, they're all buttoned up, and they're full-time, and they're just the games they're coming out with are just, I don't know, they must have a crystal ball or something. The games are coming out are just magical, and the terrain is just killer diller.
Yeah.
And then you see Kana. You know, you see Valerie
local.
and Allison. You know, 3 years ago, they had a booth and they weren't sure that this
Yeah,
was
we
their
don't
third
know
year.
if this is gonna be good.
And they sold out.
Yeah.
You know, and they had nothing left. And Sunday we said, "You've just reached nirvana. You'll never do it again. So be happy. Quit trying to double guess yourself." But now I've seen them at Gen Con. I've seen them at Origins.
Adepticon.
Adepticon. They come up to my convention, Twisted Lords. You know, and they are killing that niche, and it gets better and better. And that's the excitement that adds to all the other excitement here. That it's just you come to Reaper and you see a new company.
Yeah.
Just when you think that you can't see a new company, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought of that. You know, and Nelson and his guys out there at Mythic Studios, they do this thing called Mythic America that we helped start with, and they did it off of our Warlords of Erewhon, and it's all about based on indigenous mythic. You know, so the first ones they had were
like theology and things like that.
Aztecs, Incas, Mayas. They just coming out with the Chachapoya, which are a South American, and then they're going to come with the Inuits, Western Confederation. The Tanoi are going to be a Caribbean, and then they got like Mythic Asia, Mythic Europe, Mythic Pacific. So they're going to be doing all those off kind of unknown things.
It's a niche. Yeah.
Oh, it's a niche, and the models are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So it's just when you think that there can't be another model, there goes my wallet.
That's another thing that's advancing a lot is the sculpting.
Oh my
And
God,
it's
yes.
Because now with 3D printers, I say it's like computers back in the 90s and stuff. You know, they were big, they were expensive, they were slow. Same thing for 3D printers. They were big, you couldn't do a lot with them. They were slow, they were expensive. But now they're getting faster, they're getting bigger, they're getting quicker.
Well, and that's a question that people ask me a lot about. Is Warlord worried about that 3D printer thing? They can't print 6 guys like this and beat our price.
Yes.
There's just no way. If I made 5 miniatures for $110 that were super, super detailed, yeah, maybe I'd be a little worried.
Yeah.
But the 3D stuff, you know, you still, you know, like Bill Thornhill is still a sculptor. He did the old school. Now he's transferred over to the new 3D print. You got Patrick Keith that's killing out there in Bombshell, right?
Yep.
And then you got
Love
Forrest
Patrick.
Harris with Knuckle Duster. All those guys have got it down, you know. And Forrest Harris is that guy that's got that niche for Gunfighter's Ball. He's got that Western, and he's got Gunfighter Royale, which is a board game, and all those have that niche. And then Reaper has, you know, there's board games, and you've got Nasepi Yoon, who does Fight in a Box, and he's got all those little cool like Scroll or Die, and then he's got that Cucumber One, and then you know, and then there's always Andrew Chesney over at Chip Theory.
Yeah.
Chip Theory is a great board set of games too, and I always say that board gamers are miniature gamers; they just don't know it yet. and with these 3D printers and these things you say about, they get these new models that are just incredible.
Yeah, and the detail seems to be getting better and better with the sculpting.
Yeah,
You know,
and
just
then
better.
and then you get guys like Turbo Dork.
Oh
Who
yeah.
come in here.
Super
and-
niche.
Super niche. And they got, holy crap, that's some really great paints. And
They
you
have a double CEO.
Yeah, and 2 years, 2-3 years ago, they popped on LVO. And we started chatting with them, and bang, now they're, man. And,
Meredith is super sociable. She's good at talking.
Oh yeah, love it.
Yeah.
And you got Pro Acryl paints, Fanatic, the Fanatic paints from Army Painter just came out. I'm starting to really love
There's
those.
Tooth and Coats. There was
Duncan
at
and his-
Adepticon there was a new paint line that was premiering. What was it called? Adam?
Yeah.
Adam
Yeah.
Paints.
Just when you think you can't have another paint, boom,
Yeah,
there
I
it
know.
is.
Big
it's
Child
just-
Creatives, I think.
Yep. So that's what's exciting about this convention. You always see some new people.
Yeah, and a lot of people like Turbo Dork, for instance.
Yeah.
They were like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'm surprised that you have Turbo Dork at your convention."
Why wouldn't you
And
have it?
I always say, like, why not? A rising tide floats all boats.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And that's what I try to help, Daedalus, okay?
Daedalus?
Daedalus,
Studio?
yeah.
Yeah.
I ran into them at a Renegade GT up in Plymouth, Minnesota. And that's how I end my run on at conventions. It's 10 minutes from my sister's house, and it's a week
perfect.
before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, cheap.
So cheap, and I stay there for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no
and I
hotel
ran into
costs.
them, and I got to be real good friends with them. I said, you need to go to Reaper because they have these incredible models.
And they've been here for
this is their second
year.
Yeah, and they came last year and they couldn't believe it, and now they're always going to come.
Okay.
So why not, like you said, rising tide floats all boats.
ships. Yeah, I mean,
you got to help these people out.
we don't like to, like, put anybody down or anything like that. We're all doing the same thing.
Yeah, you see a good company, Julian from In Country. He does this modern stuff that's amazing. And again, like, I love those guys at Blacksite,
Yeah, Blacksite.
And then Kana, those guys. It's just, you see these new companies, you see them flourish, it just lifts your heart and makes you want to do painting or spread the word or do some things. So, and ReaperCon is one of those places that you can really do it at. And even if you're, yes, thank you, Smoth. I better catch up here. Oh yeah, Kelly's Heroes special. Oh, they're not Kelly's Heroes yet either. They're Oddball Heroes. We have the Oddball Heroes. So yes, but we have and hello, old DM22. So again, this is if you can come for a day, come for a day. If you come for a couple of days, this hotel is phenomenal. The carpet is phenomenal. It is designed for conventions. All that extra light out there and the wall and the dessert and I do this for a living, so I go through a lot of hotels.
Oh yeah, true.
And there's 2 or 3 hotels that I love going to. I love going to Genghis Khan up in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
I love coming to ReaperCon, and then of course Adepticon. And now it's moved to Milwaukee. It's only going to get better.
That's right.
So
we'll be there next year, so I'll see you.
Yep, I'm looking forward to that. So,
all right, I think we're gonna start wrapping up.
Sure, otherwise I'll talk all night.
Really quick, website. Is it just WarlordGames.com?
WarlordGames.com. Yep.
Yep, I
right
see it
there.
right here. Yep.
Right there. WarlordGames.com.
WarlordGames.com with an S.
Yep, and you can get a hold of me at john.russell at warlordgames.com, or you can call me at 406-579-7704.
Okay.
Oh, and the ReaperCon code for Warlord always has we always put a code out. Yeah, we always put a code at our conventions in case you can't get here and you want to get some of our stuff, or we run out.
Online.
Yeah, on our web store. Go to our web store, warlordgames.com. Do your purchasing, and if at the end there's that, it says promo code.
Promo code.
REPCON, all caps. REPCON. ReaperCon 24-15, and then if it's got a Warlord label on it, you get 15% off.
15.
Yeah, so you can watch this, or always go to Angry Joe. We do some things
Angry
with him.
Joe.
Oh yeah,
I met him at ReaperCon. Or at Adepticon.
Yeah, he came. He was our guest. He does a lot of stuff. My Raider
Awesome.
Jay does down there. So
Love
check that out. There's a lot of places, and thanks, Pixel Cats.
Thanks, Pixel.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah, so we're going to stay live.
Sure.
So we're going to cut to some security cameras that we have around ReaperCon. One of them is down right now, but you'll see. But we'll
Immersive.
be immersive. It's like if you're not here,
You're here.
you'll be able to see it.
Cool.
And we have Ignition Core Games coming up for an interview,
Oh,
a small
awesome.
little interview. And then we'll do Reaper Live tonight at 6. We'll do our normal Reaper Live like we do every other Thursday. So that'll be
Fantastic.
later tonight. So
Well, thanks, John.
bye.
Appreciate it very much.
It was a joy. Bye. Well, that was quick.
You're live.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, the last transition was really slow, so I had a time to drink.
Yeah.
Hi, Will.
John?
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to be here.
Is this what ReaperCon is this for you?
Number 4.
Number 4. Okay.
Number 4.
The same as Warlord. I think this was their 4th year.
Yeah. 2021 was my first.
Oh,
I
the
was
year after.
kind of a homeless guy. I was just out there in the lobby demoing my games on the table, and through the kindness and goodness of another vendor who's here this year as well, Midnight Heroes, I was able to move a little bit of product and just kind of dip my big toe in the water. And I have not missed a ReaperCon ever since.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're local, too. I think you were telling me. We were talking a little bit earlier, so.
Yeah, 45 minutes down the road. So I was able to see my family this morning and then just kind of casually drive up at the last minute and set up. Because, if you wait to the last minute, it only takes a minute, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people here were late last night setting up all their vendors and vendor booths and things like that, so. That's good. How many people do y'all have in your booth? How many do you normally bring?
So in the booth, right now it's just me and Alex. Okay. So Alex is my lead playtester and demo volunteer. But then I also have my sculptor here, Heriberto. And he's around demoing the game that I helped him develop, Magical Girl Assault. And then I have another guy floating around doing demos, Keelan. He is just a local mega fan.
Yeah.
He found Ignition Core and decided he needed everything that existed in that game. And then he found Shining Heroes and made the same call with that he needed every single miniature that exists for Shining Heroes.
I love Heriberto. I talk to him every year. He brought me presents last year. He brings me presents every year. He's such a friendly guy. He's on our Discord all the time. He's always sculpting and streaming and things like that. So he helped me recently because he does a bunch of renders. I think he does a bunch of renders and stuff for y'all. And so I was like, Heriberto, I need help. It's like, hey, I just used this and I taught myself, so I've been learning and it looks great. So he's a great guy. So.
He is a great guy. He's a good friend. My wife has absolutely loved having Mexican food cooked for us while he's been staying with us down in Benbrook.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, he's a great guy. He's an asset. My 2-year-old adores him. Uncle Beto.
Uncle Beto.
Yep.
Yeah, I know because he helped run the demos a few years ago. I remember watching, I think, him out in the hallway. He was down here in the hallway running some Magical Girl Assault, I think. And is he running any games this year? Or?
He is. He's running demos every day. I can't remember if he's doing more than one a day. Okay. I try and keep everyone running demos to not, break themselves off. The first year he was doing 3 or 4 a day, and he was in a flop sweat by mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
So I encouraged him to get out there and be an ambassador for his game, but not at the expense of burning himself out.
Yeah.
Don't burn up your mental health. Don't give yourself an early heart attack. Run a demo a day, 2 if you're feeling squirrely.
Yeah.
If you have 3 demos in a day, rethink your life choices.
Yeah. Right now, the conventions are always kind of stressful because leading up to it's kind of the big build, and then you stress about getting everything set up and everything like that, and then it's and then it slowly starts to, you can relax a little bit and kind of get in the groove of talking to people, running your demos, just hanging out, and then and then it's cleanup time, and then it's go time again.
Yeah,
you gotta pack up.
Absolutely. I mean, conventions in general are a bit of a fever dream.
Yeah.
And day one is always the biggest fever dream, and then you what's the word I'm looking for? You adjust. Day two, you're in the groove.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this convention because compared to larger conventions, this is like being around my second family. So
family reunion is what I
exactly.
say.
I agree with that.
That's what we just talked about with Warlord Games. Because like I said, that's pretty good that you guys are the same years. And he said that this convention's a little bit different of a vibe as opposed to other ones, just because it's more about the hobby and things like that. It's not so much about, big war games and things like that, but
yeah, absolutely.
I'll take that. I'll take it. So
the gamers, all the games I see are very casual, sit down, relaxed. I did Adepticon in March, and there's big 40K tournaments.
Brutal.
And there's big... Yeah, that was a culture shock. That was my first Adepticon.
Oh, really? That was mine too.
Yeah, and that first day, I said, this is a fever dream? No, that's something else. I enjoyed that one, but this is like second home.
Yeah. Yeah, because Adepticon, I think they said that there was 8 or 9,000 people.
That sounds right.
Attendees, and it felt, to me, crowded. I guess, I don't know. It felt a little tight.
I'd agree with that.
But maybe that's why they're changing hotels. Because I know it's in Milwaukee, I think, next year.
It is. Yep.
So I don't know if that's a bigger venue. It might be. I would assume, but I don't know.
That's what I'd heard. Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't like double down on that, but I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere.
Okay.
That it's a bigger venue and they're just finding places to fit the attendees.
Are y'all going back next year?
Yes, we're going back next year. We definitely managed our expectations, and we did well there. But I went there with ReaperCon as a baseline.
Yeah.
And like, full disclosure, like during the first day, I almost considered just making it a one and done, saying, you know what, like, I came in with the ReaperCon expectation. We come to ReaperCon to have fun, and you know we do well here. But Adepticon was just so high stress. Now by day 2, I had reset my expectations.
Yeah.
And the networking was phenomenal, and you meet a ton of awesome people. So by the end of the second day, I was like, okay, I can do this every year. But yeah, it's just good to be back home.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different because for me, I have 2 sides. When I went to Adepticon, obviously I was running the Reaper booth, but it's different when you're running a booth and you're there as an attendee or working the show. Because the problem with me for ReaperCon right now is at night, I just want to hang out, and it's hard for me to go to my hotel room and go to sleep because I just want to hang out with everybody. Like everybody's playing board games and, you know, but I also have to still walk around and make sure everything's okay and things like that. But it's like I'm playing board games, I'm hanging out and stuff like that. And then it's like I don't get a lot of sleep because I got to wake up and open the doors early for the vendors and all that stuff. And then, but when I was vending at Adepticon, I was just so tired after vending all day. I just was like, I need to go to bed. But
we would go out for dinner. We'd go for dinner with Brian from Scale 75, find a place, and then go back to our rooms and sleep.
I did not hang out at Adepticon. I was just way too tired.
The booth took it out of me. I sounded hoarse. Heriberto, man, he was like, I was worried he'd never speak again. You know, after his first day, he sounded terrible.
Okay.
So he was just chugging water and cough drops after day 1.
Yeah. I use a medicine ball tea. That's what I drink. It helps me a ton. Because I used to do the tours for ReaperCon. During ReaperCon, I used to do the tours, a lot of talking. And so I found that medicine balls, it's a warm tea, and it saved me.
Oh, man, I got to remember that.
Yeah, you can get them at the cafe up here, around the corner.
I'll check that out. And I probably should have some on hand for him because,
I'll tell him.
He was, good call. Good call. He was not loving life trying to talk on day 3 of Adepticon.
Yeah. I won't keep you too late. I know we still have a ton of time, but I know that you need to get and close up the vendor hall and help your booth and stuff. So I don't want to keep you too late. But how long has Ignition Core Games been around? Like, when was it founded? You know, why was it founded? Like, you know.
Okay. There's 2 answers to that.
Okay.
The founding of what would become Ignition Core Games was 3 September 2019.
Okay.
And that was me and Heriberto first getting together and saying, I'm going to make a game. I would like to hire you to make sculpts for that game.
Okay. He's like, all right.
And he was all about it. Well, then March of 2020 happened, and we were all told to stay home. So
perfect.
I was in the military at the time, and my officer in charge, my CO, told me, hey, check out a government laptop, work from home as often as you can, as operational demands will allow. So I was in a bit of a senior role at that time, where I could manage my work, and then I could time manage and say, you know what, I've had this other game idea that's lived rent-free in my head for decades. And I knew my first project was going to be a slow burn. In fact, it's still a slow burn. But I said, you know what, I'm going to get Ignition Core out to the world. And it was, I call it the bar napkin sketch game, where I just belted it out. March of 2020, I started it as a blank PowerPoint document, and 6 months later, the first pre-order boxes were landing on people's doorsteps. So it was September of 2020 that Ignition Core Games LLC was officially founded in the state of Texas.
Created.
So
it's Texas-based.
Yep.
Hey.
So So 1 year after I first put my head down and said, you know what? Because I've been making game design notes all my life. But to me, it was a hobby. You know, I would rather pick out my favorite game and play that, and then just tinker with my own ideas, maybe mod some like games I was already a fan of. But I always had that game designer itch.
Yeah.
So September, I decided to make my own. You know, I wanted exactly what I wanted to see in a game to exist in the real world. Because when you play someone else's game, you're going to find something that's, you know, 90% there, 80% there. There's going to be some concession that you make. And I said, I don't want any more concessions. I want anime-inspired games that reminded me of the stuff I grew up on as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, so Mobile Suit Gundam was a big inspiration.
Love it.
Tons of JRPGs, particularly from the Sega Genesis and PlayStation 1 era. And you'll see that in our minis. They have a, like, particularly, we don't have any here on stream that are like that, but the humanoid ones are always modeled after the character models from video games. So they're not full-blown chibi, they're, I would call it semi-chibi.
Yeah.
But Eriberto and I affectionately refer to it as video game scale.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's funny because we just came from Warlord that was talking about their, you know, historical scale and all that stuff, and then Reaper, we really don't have a scale. It's a big meme, but yeah, I like that video game scale.
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, you'll have to come check out the glass cases when you get a time.
I have a few Ignition Core models.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my fiance a couple years ago, she comes to ReaperCon on Saturdays.
Okay.
And so she'll go around and she'll buy me stuff at the vendor hall because I don't have a lot of time to go shop. Because I'm
right
too
on.
busy
Okay.
doing
Yeah.
stuff here. So she'll buy me a bunch of stuff.
So you have a few. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because I like the chibi style, that kind of style, and they're really dynamic. Plus, I love Hariboto's sculpts. So
Yeah.
this
He
year
is a
he has a really
sculpting beast.
cool. I wish I had a picture. He has that cool scythe cat that he made this year.
Yeah.
He posted it in our Discord. That was a really cool model.
Yeah, he always does a ReaperCon model to like just hand out to his friends.
Yeah, he did. He made it. I told Ron to buy from Heriberto. I was like, Heriberto sculpted this Sophie. She's like a little chibi Sophie. I think this was 2 years ago, and she has a little MSP paint bottle and a big old brush. And I'm like, he gave it to us as a gift, and I was like, Ron, you need to get that. We can make that. That's a good model. Like, and so we'll see. You might see a little chibi Sophie with a paintbrush and a bottle. So
That'll be fun.
it's super cute. So yeah, so I guess we can look at these real quick.
Yeah,
you
we
brought
can
some
talk about
models
these.
to showcase. Look
So
at that.
yeah, so those are models up there on the screen. These are these are all from Ignition Core. I brought a bunch of mechs. I was limited what I could bring up, so I
Yeah.
focused on the big mechs. These are some models that have been in our line for a while, but these are some of the better selling models. So we have let's see if I can adjust the focus here. Nope, I apparently can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time.
Yeah, that looks great.
There we go.
Are you going to talk about this one?
Yep, so we have the Valkyrie. This is the Relic Valkyrie, so it goes with that faction. I asked Eriberto to make me because robots aren't really gendered, but I said make a female mech.
I mean,
And make it
looks
after the Norse battle maiden, the Valkyrie.
the Valkyrie.
And he did a couple of renditions of it, but this particular one, I'll flip it so we can see that wingspan, is the best rendition of the Valkyrie mech.
Yeah. Who painted these?
So this one here
Yeah, the Valkyrie.
was painted by Brush for Hire, Sean
Oh,
McAfee.
Brush for Hire. Yeah.
Yep.
Sean. Mr. Mohawk himself.
Yep. These two here are painted by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Eriberto.
Oh, he paints too.
Yep.
He
painted,
does his paint club thing.
Yep.
In down there. Yeah.
He painted these in my attic
This one?
in 2 hours, alongside other minis. So he sculpts like a machine. He paints like a machine. But yeah, those two Straw Hat Samurai, in under 2 hours
Wow,
in my attic.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
These are so good.
And then the big one,
The red one.
the Daimyo Oni with the massive Tetsubo.
This guy.
It's actually 3 cannon barrels bolted together to make a club.
It's a club. It kind of looked
Yep.
like a blunderbuss club.
It is, yeah, 3 cannon barrels. So in game, the rules represent that it can shoot and it can splatter.
Okay.
That was painted by, her name is Rachel Frost.
Okay.
So if you look up Stardust Miniatures, she does very, very reasonable rates on commissions. And she got a lot of
Shout
my
out.
stuff up and running when she was, when I was early.
Yeah.
You know, brand new, early on in founding the studio. She helped me get a lot of miniatures painted for display and for demos in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, that's it's very effective.
Yes.
Having studio paint jobs, especially for box art, website art. I've noticed doing Instagram, things like that, people generally like things that are painted more. So if I just put up a render, or if I put up a just an unpainted model, and I put up another model that's painted, the painted one always generally does better.
Oh, yeah.
Generally. I mean, that's not a shock, but it's always a good thing to have. So it's good that somebody believed in you and did it for you, because you need help when you're starting and things like that, because you don't have thousands of dollars to do for marketing and have people paint your stuff. So that was good.
Her rates were very reasonable, and her turnaround times were surprisingly fast a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So she helped me a lot starting out. Sean McAfee, Brush for Hire, he helped me a lot as well. So I would send him miniatures for free to paint on his channel and give away, and he painted a couple for me and just sent them to me, which I would never ask an artist to do that. I have a hard line rule: you don't ever haggle prices with an artist.
Yeah. Or it just feels bad when hey, can you do this for free? Or you get into like a weird little area there.
And I was shocked when Sean sent me that Relic Valkyrie at no price asked. I'd sent him minis for him to paint on stream. He approached me and said, "Hey, would you like to sponsor my stream?" And I was like, "I don't know what that means. Do you need me to send like money to your stream?" He's like, "No, just send me some minis. I'll paint them on stream and I'll promote you." And he sent me a lot of sales, and I let him, give minis away. And when it was all said and done, he sent a couple back to me, and I'm very grateful and humbled that he did that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's good for the streamer as well, because they get stream content, like they get content out of it. It's good promotion. I think it's a lot of good, because here coming up in the next couple of months, I reached out to a bunch of streamers and stuff like that. So if you have a new release that's coming out or something like that, you contact them all, send them all that piece, and then have them like all sculpt it or all paint it like on that day or the release day, or like the day before release. So it gets into a bunch of eyes, and they'll be like, "Hey, this comes out tomorrow," things like that.
Yeah,
it's a good marketing tool.
Yeah, we both took care of each other, and it worked out really well. So
good.
That was fun.
Yeah, especially this feels kind of new, especially like Mike Moans, Jimmy the Brush, two streamers in chat. I see them right there.
Right.
So I mean, it's just with this rise of streaming, it's just a newer thing, especially like miniature painting. It's obviously catching up because it's more of a hobby and stuff like that, because streaming is always attributed to mainly gaming in the past traditionally, but now there's a lot more IRL streams and things like that, a lot of content happening, game shows and all that stuff. So I'm glad miniature painting is starting to become more of a thing. But Twitch or YouTube or anybody, Twitch has a real problem about miniature painting is looped into I'm going on a little rant here. It's in the art section. It's not, we don't have our own specific miniature painting section. So we're in with sculptors. It's like all generalized.
It's just one big umbrella.
People doing art, it's all, so it's kind of hard to find. So we have to utilize tags and things like that for people to find miniature painters. And a lot of people just end up going to Warhammer, the section for Warhammer to paint miniatures. And sometimes they're not even painting Warhammer miniatures. So it's a whole little area, but yeah.
Understood. No, I understand.
Yeah, of course.
I get on the soapbox all the time, I'm there with John.
Yeah. Twitch, get on it.
Yep.
I know there's a petition. A couple of streamers are starting to try to get it, so we'll see. We're Reaper's behind it as well, so we're going.
Yeah, hopefully Twitch picks up on that.
Okay.
So we'll talk about the other one here. So we just talked about Ignition Core.
Oh.
Let's see. We're talking about Magical Girl Assault right now. I see she's a little bit.
Yeah, that should go up a little bit. Frank, we only have one cameraman, so he's doing everything.
That's all right. So let's see if we can get the right angle.
Who painted this?
This was Ari Berto's girlfriend, Dia.
Dia. Okay.
Yep. She painted this one. This is the newest bust for the Magical Girl Assault line. So Magical Girl Assault is a game that I helped Heriberto develop. So when we finally met in 2021 in person, after working together for 2 years, he saw me when I was demoing as a homeless guy in the halls at a demo table, and he saw how I ran my little bootstrappy operation, and he said, I want in on this, and also I have a game that I've designed. However, I'm not a game designer, and I would like help making this game.
Of course.
So we got together, I helped him format his rulebook, and then I helped him with production, and Magical Girl Assault became a fully realized spin-cast resin miniatures line.
Oh, it's Spincast. Okay.
Yep.
That was my next question.
Yep.
I'm the mold maker for Reaper, so I always like to ask about casting processes and mold making and things like that.
Oh yeah, everything we do that is available on our website is spin-cast resin.
Spincast resin.
We do 3D prints for convention exclusives because they're convention exclusive.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to make a
You don't
mold
want to do
for
mass
that.
production.
Exactly. We don't want to do mass production and mold setup costs being what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, so she is a convention exclusive.
Oh,
So
for ReaperCon or just in general, the whole year?
conventions.
Yeah.
So it'll be here. Only 2 places in America you can get it, or in the world, and that's here and Adepticon.
Okay.
So she is our newest release. So after Magical Girl Assault enjoyed a certain amount of success as a tabletop miniatures game, Heriberto wanted to try moving on to busts and asked if he could bring them to the Ignition Core booth.
Yeah, that was my next question.
And I was on board. I'm like, hey man, you know, I'm in.
Yeah.
And they've been tremendously successful. They either completely sell out, or we only take 1 or 2 home, and then they sell out on the website within like 96 hours of being posted. And this is our newest one, La Generala. She's got a Los Muertos Mexican Day of the Dead theme. She's got her bottle of Jose and her shot glasses.
Yeah. Is that a decal or is that hand painted?
You know what? I want to say that is actually in the miniature.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's sculpted into it.
It's sculpted in.
Oh,
so
it's like embossed.
you don't even need to be able to freehand. You just need to be able to like pick up those slightly raised letters.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And yeah, wonderful sculpt, wonderful bust.
Yeah.
We've got that. We've got other painter scale stuff this year that's convention exclusive as well.
Painter scale. That's the other word that gets thrown around a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, because Reaper people have been asking us for years to do busts, like more busts. We did some in our last couple of Kickstarters here and there. We did a few. But obviously for us, they don't really sell that well.
It's hard to mass market busts.
Exactly.
They do very well as convention exclusives.
Exactly.
And on the website, I feel like anyone that's following us rabidly that's like, hey, I really wanted to be at ReaperCon, Adepticon, I couldn't make it. If you put the busts up, they'll snap up real fast.
Yeah.
But if I made molds and offered them all year round, I wouldn't get the same results.
Exactly. That's the same thing that we've been seeing as well. And I think we're talking a little bit of marketing here, but I think that Monument Hobbies, they do their busts and stuff, but they call them texture trainers. They don't call them busts. They just have a different name. And so I think psychologically, when people read that, they're like, oh, I'm learning something, or I can, it's something, it's a learning tool. It's not a display piece.
That's
or
clever.
something like that. So it is I think psychologically it's a marketing thing. But.
And there is something to that. A lot of people, it is a psychological experience. A lot of my success is that psychological experience of being engaged with the community, being reachable, the parasocial relationship where people want to, people remember me and they come up to me. People I didn't know know me. Hey, I've been following your stuff for forever.
Yeah.
A lot of that at Adepticon, I got a lot of hugs from strangers. And it was just kind of cool, and people aren't just buying product, right? It isn't just the clinical exchange of currency for goods and services.
Yeah. It's a hobby,
It's a hobby.
People
and
love it.
Yeah, and if people feel like they're a little more connected to the people that make it, they love that too.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like I'm not going to get my car registered and then go hug my guy that checked out my car.
No, that I expect that to be a more clinical exchange of, currency for service. But yeah, point made.
Oh yeah, GK for Hire says I'd love to see a gameplay of Magical Girl Assault. Do y'all have anything online of like gameplay footage or?
Let me talk to Heriberto about that because I think someone started a tabletop simulator mod.
Oh, okay.
Of Magical Girl Assault. I commissioned a tabletop simulator mod of Ignition Core, and that's free. If you own Tabletop Simulator, you can get Ignition Core and just try it, play it. All the game pieces are 3D in it, so
Oh,
you know,
perfect.
I play Tabletop Simulator mods where they just give you a flat cardboard standee with an image.
Yeah.
I contracted a guy to do some really nice sculpts.
Yeah.
And make it feel really tactile.
It's good for playtesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe there's a Magical Girl Assault mod in the works.
Yeah. Do you have a? I'm assuming you have all the same socials, like all the normal socials and things like that. Do y'all have a Discord and?
Yes,
all that
we
stuff?
definitely have a Discord. Yeah, I mean you can go to ignitioncoregames.com and find most of it.
Okay.
Or if you go to the Ignition Core Games Facebook or Instagram or Twitter,
It'll have all those links and stuff.
you may not get the links, but you will get them. The inbox will come straight to me.
Got it.
So if you're like, hey, I want to be on the Discord, I'll DM you a link.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have that handy right now. That's maybe I'll be better prepared next year. If you want to get on the
we'll
Tabletop
get it.
Simulator
Yeah.
mod, you know, same thing. I'll send you a link to that. Just ping me through any Ignition Core Games
Socials.
you know, or the email addresses on the website.
They go straight to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then once you're in the Discord, like I can't escape you. You're just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's great. A lot of people can contact you and stuff like that. Are you running any deals online? I know that Warlord was doing like a promo code and things like that. I just didn't know. I just wanted to ask.
So there is a deal for 15% off if you get on the mailing list.
On the mailing list. Got it.
Once you go to the website, it'll ask you for your email address. I don't sell that information and I don't spam.
Yep.
You know, I just do relevant releases and it's maybe once a month. But you'll get 15% off that first purchase if you get on the mailing list.
That's a good ask, you know, and that's a good cadence for a mailing list. Is 1 month. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Especially if you're doing new releases pretty often
Exactly.
and things like that.
I mean, my website won't let me do more than one email push per month because I'm on Wix and my business is still small and
They're like,
you
hey.
know, I get 500 emails and I think I got 380 people on the email list. So it's
Yeah.
still all pretty small. So
Good.
yeah, you're not at risk of getting blown up with a bunch of stuff if you want to get that first 15% off.
Yeah.
And then I run deals all the time, you know, and I push those out on the mailing list and on the socials. So
Cool.
there's always something at Black Friday. There's always something at ReaperCon. Yeah.
Do you find if you have any ninja shoppers? Do you know if you guys have ninja shoppers?
Ninja shoppers.
Yeah, so Reaper always has a lot of ninja shoppers because something that is exclusive like this.
Right.
Like this year we have the Reaper bust, like the bust that's a Grim Reaper. You can only get it here. And
Oh, are we talking scalpers?
yeah, kind of, but it's like if somebody can't make it, they contact them like on
Oh,
the Discord and
yes.
stuff, say, hey, can you buy me one?
That's happened.
You know, and then they'll send it to you.
That's happened here. That's happened at Adepticon. So
Yeah.
not scalpers, people that are
Yeah.
hiding out. Yes, there have been ninja shoppers.
Yeah.
I know we've sold at least. There's one bust that I know of. Someone in my Discord was like, "Yay, I bought a bust," and I was like, "Oh, did I see you?" And it turned out no, they'd
Yeah, somebody
contacted
hadn't
someone
bought
on the
them.
venue.
Yeah. We have
Okay.
that a lot. Yeah. Oh yes, our operatives.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It happens a lot.
I mean,
So.
if you have the ability and the infrastructure to employ ninja shopping tactics, I encourage it. You know,
I mean,
your
it's good.
your agent or operative is more than welcome to come to the booth and grab whatever he needs. We don't turn them away.
Yeah, get them. All right. Well, I won't take up too much more of your time because I know you need to get back to your booth. And you want to be there towards the end. I don't want to. I know it's just you two, so
Right.
you need to wrap up and everything like that. But do you have any like new releases coming up soon that you want to shout out or?
So the two newest releases, one of them is the Generala bust.
Okay.
We-
More busts, non-con exclusive.
This is specifically the bust right here. This
okay.
is brand new. She launched today.
Okay.
We have the Fireteam Cerberus, which is, if you take a look on any of our socials, you'll see a dropship and 3 girls that are in like, you know, kind of a cyberpunk looking outfit. Those are, I'm trying to think how best to describe it without actually having them in front of me.
Yeah.
They launched today at the convention and they will be on the website the Tuesday after the convention.
Okay.
So those are here. And then Model Zero, which is a modular mech, pre-drilled for magnets.
Oh, cool.
Yep, so you can put all the little, you can change out all the little whiz bangs and gimmicks on them. You know, do you want missile launchers? Do you want howitzers? Do you want a flight kit? Do you want them to have a shield, twin beam sabers?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. One of my customers today described it as a Gundam kit in resin.
Yeah, and all that comes in the same kit. All those different weapons. And arms
it's an all-in-one kit. All the options come in there.
Pre-drilled. No magnets, but drilled for magnets.
Standard 5mm magnets that you can get on Amazon inside of a day.
Awesome.
And they come in packs of like
Not
500.
a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Yep. Yeah, you can get them from any. I don't know how.
Yeah. Any hobby shop.
Any hobby shop or, website that has its own logistics system that we're not going to plug for.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
They make so much money that
Exactly.
we won't make a dent at all. So.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think we're putting Jeff Bezos' next rocket in space.
No.
Yeah. So that's a very recent release, and then the Fireteam Cerberus release launched today here at the convention. Launches on the website Tuesday. Yep, those are our 2 upcoming releases.
Awesome, cool. At ignitioncoregames.com.
Ignitioncoregames.com.
Got it. There you go. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. We'll probably cut to a security stream before we launch into Reaper Live tonight with me, Ron, and I think Dave. I haven't talked to him today, but I'm pretty sure he'll be here. So, yeah, thanks for coming on, Will. I know
thanks for having me, John.
I've been talking to you in emails and stuff, so yeah. Saw you at Adepticon.
Yep.
I'll see you at Adepticon next year.
Yep.
So we'll be there. We'll have lunch or something. That sounds great.
That sounds good to me.
Somebody asked, what is a security stream? Sorry. So I set up security cameras around ReaperCon. So in between breaks like this, when we go between different interviews and stuff like that, for everybody that can't be at ReaperCon, you'll have different camera angles to see what's going on. You'll see the main hall filled up. You'll see Artist Alley. But it also serves a dual purpose for us to have security. They're recording all weekend, so I'll have a good eye view of the whole convention almost. So,
there you go.
Yeah. So that's what you'll expect. So you'll hang out here while we wait and get set up for Reaper Live here in about 30 minutes or so. So
awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Will.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
IgnitionCoreGames.com.
Yeah,
Look out for
check
those
us
new
out.
releases. So.
Thank you.
5, 4, 3,
Bye, everybody.
2.
Well, that was easier than I thought.